So the second commandment is you should not use the Lord's name in vain. Makes sense because the very name of the Lord carries with it that sacredness. It's the name of the divine. But part of that commandment is also that we know there's other kinds of words and language that we should not use. Because anything that God's created is sacred. And if you think about it, most of the bad words, this doesn't matter what language we're talking in, by the way, it works in all languages, usually it refers to parts of the body or parts of sexuality. Those are very sacred things that God has created. So we don't want to refer to those in any way that would be in vain. When we think about the body, we think especially about the way Jesus' body was treated in the crucifixion. Unfortunately, in many parts of this country, we have Jesus on the cross, and he does look sad, and he looks like he's in pain, but it's kind of cleaned up. I always appreciate in other parts of the world, especially in many Latin countries, where Jesus is much more bloody, much more realistic. Much more, yes, there was a tremendous amount of suffering and pain. As like in the first reading, he was really crushed and mocked and beaten. We know from John's Gospel that Jesus was not only horribly treated physically, but part of what the Romans wanted to do is they wanted to demean the whole person. And so we saw that little line, it's almost a throwaway. Remember, the soldiers took his clothes. Jesus died completely naked. And that was on purpose because there was such a shame that was wanted to happen. And imagine dying so horribly, the physical pain, but also the shame of your complete naked self in front of the whole world. Imagine if we had a naked man on the cross in all of our churches. We probably would have even less Catholics. But what is it about a naked body? Some people would say, well, a naked body might be nice to look at, and that would be objectifying the body, and that would certainly be sinful. But I think most of us would say we would not be able to look. We would actually be part of the shame. And we would be part of the shame because what we are seeing is something of ourselves. That we're afraid to expose ourselves to the Lord. So yes, we can feel shame, especially if we feel like we're not exposing ourselves as much to God. But God is actually exposing something else. He's exposing the extreme level of his love. I mean, did you see where the story started in John's Gospel? It started in a garden. Where was he buried? This whole scene really happened in a garden. It's a place of beauty. It's beautiful when we look upon Jesus, who has died, dead on the cross, because it shows God's tremendous love for us. That's beautiful. That's not shameful. And so, when we see God's beauty in our life, then we want to reflect that back to him. That we want our life fully exposed to him, fully open to that love that he died for us to have. And then not only do we want that, we want to expose our lives to others so that they can be a part of this tremendous love that God has shared with us. And they have to see us, not literally naked, but they have to see what we're like on the inside. And when we're so full of Christ, we usually smile a lot more. We have a glow about ourselves. All of our words and our actions say something greater than ourselves is happening. And that's what's good about Good Friday. It's not just the tremendous effect it has on us, but then the effect that we can have on others. And so as we celebrate the death of Christ this day, Let us continue to receive his love and share his love with others. And let us not do that in vain.